Alright, might be posting too much too soon. Regardless, it is now 10 at night, making it about 6 hours since I last recorded. And I'm going to, if you could believe it, continue with the 9K entries. You see the word vacuum? Karma abhors waste. Best to take all you can. That was not a very good at all Wayne June impression. Now, we did Space Expert. Wonderful. I thought it was funny. Meaning, what's next is The Undefined by uh, Kaelicicles. Kaelis... Kaelicicles? Kaelicicles? Kaelicicles. Something like that. The Undefined. Remember, we're here for structures, constructs, patterns. I keep wanting to call it concepts. That's apparently not correct. Uh, it just flows off the tongue easier, I suppose. No? No? No. Someone will tell me. Maybe. I, uh, with any luck, this will be a good one, right? Let's see if there's something like on the opening page that'll give us some like right cause to immediately know if this will be great or well, I guess there's always the ratings, no? 10. Okay, interesting. Hmm, not too long. Two footnotes. I don't see much red text. Or any, really. Okay, this will probably be one of the ones where we'd managed to do two in one video. One of the ones, as though it's not 50-50 so far with just the 4 entries. Hey, 2 people have used the playlist. That's very nice. I hope I'm not boring people with really hard focusing on the SCP stuff. If I am, that sucks, man. I really like SCP stuff, and I kind of did want this to be fun for everyone else. As such, in the description there will be the files we'll be reading, or you could go yourself to the wiki, go to the, you know, contest. I mean, you pretty much saw how I did it, so. Anyway, no, I don't know what else to ramble about, no preamble, so, after a sip of water, let's get started with The Undefined by Kaelicicles. 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 Let's just start from scratch. Item number SCP-9000. Object class pending. Interim Containment Guidelines. Interesting. Documentation of SCP-9000 is in progress and presently incomplete. SCP-9000 is currently isolated in a temporary Foundation installation built at its point of origin. This installation is to be considered part of Site-99 for administrative purposes. Maintain a minimum distance of 3 meters to the anomaly wherever possible. Whenever possible. Do not touch the anomaly, even through protective gear or tools. Exercise caution. Documentation of SCP-9000 is expected to be completed by October 3rd, 2001 at the latest. Okay, so this one takes place in like the early 2000s, presumably. Or rather, maybe 90s? No, 2000, okay, 2000s, yeah, right here. Initial description. SCP-9000 appears to be a hovering black sphere which spontaneously appeared 9 miles northeast of Site-99 on August 22nd, 2001. Yeah, August. Okay. I had to really quickly go through my brain and be like, is that the month that 8 is? It is the month that 8 is. SCP-9000 has a diameter of 19 centimeters, hovers 1.7 meters off the ground, and does not seem mobile. Any object that touches SCP-9000 will begin to break down and get absorbed in the anomaly. Alright, I already like this. Notably, this effect appears to chain through objects. For example, if a human were to touch the SCP-9000 with a stick, both the human and the stick would get absorbed by SCP-9000. See SCP-9000 Initial Damages and Casualties Report for further information. No other qualities were observed during initial acquisition. Plan of Action. Supervision of research into SCP-9000 has been assigned to Level 4 researcher Dr. Douglas Monroe. Dr. Monroe has assembled a research team consisting of the following personnel. Dr. Abraham New, probationary Level 3 researcher, Department of Alchemy, who is acting as the research head. With 2 research assistants, Dr. Lenore Celentano, Level 2 researcher of the Department of Alchemy, and Dr. Michael Amofa, who is a Level 2 researcher of the Thaumaturgical Department. The goals of SCP-9000 research team are as follows. Establish robust and effective special containment procedures for the anomaly. Conduct a wide range of tests to ascertain the exact nature of the anomaly. Contained below are the research materials that have been provided by the SCP-9000 research team so far. SCP-9000 Research Log 1, entered by Dr. New. Site 99 at 9:07 Eastern Standard Time on September 4th, 2001. Note: Initial strategic meeting. Dr. Celentano and Dr. Amofa sit within the adjoining conference room to SCP-9000 containment area. Dr. Amofa checks his watch. Dr. Amofa: he was supposed to be here 10 minutes ago. Dr. Celentano: just give him a bit. The door to the conference room rattles, appearing to be stuck. Dr. Celentano helps open the door and Dr. New enters the room. Dr. Celentano: you're late, Abe. Dr. New: I know, I'm sorry. Dr. New looks at SCP-9000. There it is. Definitely looks weird. Dr. Amofa outstretches his hand. Nice to finally meet you, Dr. New. I've already gotten acquainted with Dr. Celentano. I hear that you two already know each other? Dr. Celentano: we're colleagues in the Department of Alchemy. Now, let's all get started. Dr. New: right. Starting first strategic meeting regarding SCP-9000 at 0910 hours. Dr. Amofa: okay, so I took a look at the initial file, and this seems like a pretty open and shut case, no? It's a black ball that absorbs matter. Doesn't appear to move, so can't we just restrict access and classify this as safe? Dr. New: our post orders are to conduct a bunch of tests on it. They want to make sure that this thing won't start moving somewhere down the line. Dr. Amofa: did they tell us what exactly we should be testing it for? Dr. New: nope, they didn't specify. Dr. New takes a look at the paper on the conference table. Hey, Lena, I'm not seeing any hume readings in the initial documentation. Dr. Celentano: it says that acquisition didn't have any cons counters on them. Typical. Dr. New: they're trying their best, I think. Could you maybe get a hume reading on it just for baseline? Dr. Celentano: will do. Dr. Celentano enters the containment area of SCP-9000. Dr. New: make sure not to get too close. Dr. Amofa crosses his arms, staring at Dr. New. Just one arm? Uh, Dr. Amofa: so, what's next? Dr. New: I'm sorry? Dr. Amofa: she's doing the hume reading. What do you want me to check? Dr. New scratches his head. I'm not really literate on thaumaturgy. Dr. Amofa: well, I am, and I'm not feeling anything from it. Dr. New: is that good? Dr. Amofa: not sure. It means it's not some kind of botched thaumaturgical working or anything of the sort. If it was, it'd be spewing a kiva radiation from all sides. Still, though, it should be giving off something. Dr. New: I see. Dr. Amofa grabs a sheet of paper from the table and examines it. That reminds me, you didn't write anything in for radiation protection on the human list? Dr. New: sorry, it slipped my mind. Dr. Amofa: sure. I saw that you were listed as probationary. Is this your first time running a project like this? Dr. New: oh, no. This is actually my ninth time doing something like this, but I never finished them. Dr. Amofa: what? Dr. New: I can't get any good ideas of where to take the direction of the research, and then I lose motivation and eventually get moved off project. Dr. Amofa: that's not what I meant. Dr. Celentano re-enters the conference room. Dr. Celentano: Abe, I can't get a reading. Dr. New: what do you mean? I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna drop the doctor at this point where I'll know the doctors. Celentano: counter's not working. It's just showing 0. New: that's a fresh counter though. Celentano: sure is. New leans back in his chair and rubs his eyes. Amofa: so? New: I don't know. Maybe we could try an overnight reading? Celentano: so what should we be doing in the meantime? New gets up and heads to the exit of the room. He struggles at the door. Let's break for lunch and come back with a fresh set of eyes. New leaves the room. Dr. Mofa throws up his hands. He just leaves? Celentano: Abe's usually just a peer reviewer. He doesn't really gel well with project management. Mofa: then why is he the research lead? Celentano shrugs. You should ask Dr. Monroe. I'm sure Abe is just as curious as you. Okay, this is already interesting. I like it so far. Once again, the best articles are like tales. End log. Cellular communication entered by Dr. Monroe. Hello, Abe? What are you calling me for? No. Yeah, Dr. Monroe. Hey, I'm not really sure what to do about SCP-9000. Monroe, what do you mean you don't know what to do? You've just started. No, I know, I know. It's just, I can't really think of anything to do for it. Monroe, well, what tests have you run so far? No, we tried a Hume reading, but the Kant counter didn't work. I'm hoping overnight tests will fix it. Monroe, and what about the thaumaturgical side? No, I'm not a thaumatologist. Monroe, I put a thaumatologist on your team. Just ask Dr. Amofa for help. No. Well, he said he didn't feel anything from it, so I'm not sure where to go from there. Monroe, Abe, this isn't a particularly difficult anomaly to study, at least from our initial reports. I know you're more comfortable in a lesser role. Hey, don't I know that? But trust me when I say that you are fully capable of something like this. No. And I'm just saying you'd be better off doing this yourself. Monroe, I'm not doing this over phone. Clear next Thursday at 1000 and come to my office. Until then, I want you in that containment chamber making progress. Phone call ended. Let me sip some water. 9000 research log number 2 entered by Dr. New. Site 99, 11:01 Eastern Standard Time, September 4th, 2001. Note: routine measurements. New. Okay, Amofa, what kind of test do you think we need to be? What kind of test do you think we should be doing on this thing from the thaumaturgical angle? Amofa. I mean, I could measure the Akiba radiation, but like I said earlier, I'm not getting much from it. No. Okay. Could you just do the test anyway? Pad out experiment logs? Oh, Lena? Celentano. Yeah? No. Could you run the standard unveiled test on this in interferometry, spectroscopy, stuff like that? Celentano. You think it might be a black hole? No, no, no. I just want some control values for it. Celentano. Got it. No. As for me, I grabbed one of those time-dilated counters while we were out for lunch. We can run a 24-hour test in the span of a couple minutes on this thing, so we don't have to wait overnight. End log. Oh, he went to. Okay. For some reason I thought. Wait. Okay. So four. Yeah. Okay. So when he said go to lunch, it's just so he could go call his boss and be like, "Hey, bro, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing." That's fun. SB-9000 Akiba radiation measurement. Performed by Dr. Michael Amofa. Test outline. Perform an Akiba radiation measurement using standard foundation Akiba counter. Expected result. Approximately C Akiba values, I guess? AKV. Result. Negative 29 C AKV. Note, very, very strange. SCP-9000 interferometry and spectroscopy analysis. Fun fact, I once had a colonoscopy and an endoscopy just to figure out what the fuck was wrong with me biologically because my food doesn't settle right with me and I have a really bad acid reflux. Yeah, they don't know. So that was fun. Got spit roasted by cameras for no fucking reason, eh? Bet you didn't expect to hear that now, did you? Uh, Performed by Dr. Lenore Celentano. Test outline. Perform an interferometry with Foundation micro-LIGO system. Perform standard spectroscopy. Expected result. Low strain of 10 to the 21st power of over light block of 14,800 parts per million. Standard blockage. Result. Interferometry failed over block of 14,800 parts per million. Note. No apparent gravity. Odd. SCP-9000 time-dilated Hume measurement, performed by Dr. Abraham New. Test outline. Perform a standard Hume measurement with a Kant counter, time-dilated to 24 hours and 5 minutes. Expected result. 20 Hume m per second. Hume... What would that be? Hume measurements a second? Plus or minus 9 CHM. Result. 0 HMS. No, yep, no Humes. Oh, for those of you who don't know, Hume is like a way to measure uh, it basically magic radiation in a sense. Well, I guess that is also Akiva radiation, but like Hume is it's like reality bender shit, right? That's how you classify what they can do. They're manipulating something called Hume in a lot of files and I guess newer files. It's not bad. I like the idea. SCP-9000 Research Log 3, entered by Dr. New. Site 99, 1506 East Standard Time, still 4th of September 2001. No, meeting discussing recent measurements. Amofa, what the hell is this thing? Disregarding the Akiva radiation, isn't 0 Hume supposed to be literally impossible? Still in tunnel. Well, maybe that's part of the anomaly? No, that sounds a bit too circular for me. Still in tunnel. Maybe it's absorbing the ambient humans and messing with the readings. We could try setting up an SRA. Mofa laughs. Wait, you mean one of the... Oh, SRA is Scranton Reality Anchor, which is basically, well, you know. You mean one of those stabilizers end up like Scranton? I believe that's a reference. To Red Reality. Yep. Read 3001. It's very fun. Kind of sad, too. In a good way. Well, it has a nice ending, from what I remember. Still in tunnel. That was with experimental prototypes, and even then, the accident only occurred because of an earthquake. The modern versions aren't gonna... I agree with Dr. Amofa. An SRA is just too risky when we don't know what we're dealing with. Lena, you mentioned a black hole earlier, right? Earlier. Still in tunnel. Well, yeah. Looks like a black hole, right? No. Your interferometry didn't show any apparent gravity, which shouldn't be possible either. Everything exhibits some amount of gravity. Mofa, were the settings right? Doesn't interferometry measure black holes thousands of light years away? Celentano, this was a micro-LEGO system, and it was calibrated for something half the size of the anomaly. The readings should actually have been a bit larger than we were expecting. The group stays silent for a moment and turns to face 9000. No. Does this thing even exist? I'm liking this a lot so far. Unlike, because like that's a neat thing, right? Especially because if you know like stuff about humans and the thaumaturgical radiation and shit like that. If you know a little bit of foundation terminology, even without it, you can infer a lot. Like, and then they outright spell it out for you, like, fuck, that shouldn't be possible. This thing shouldn't exist. Even for anomalies, this shouldn't exist. Like the king of them all, if you could consider it that. It's fun, is what I'm saying. SCP-9000 Research Log 4, entered by Dr. New. Site 99, 1609 Eastern Standard Time, 4th of September 2001. No, physical tests. No. Okay, we've got all the equipment ready? Still in tunnel. Abe, you still haven't told us what we're doing? No. Well, after those measurements, I feel we should just try throwing some stuff in it, see what happens. Still in tunnel. Fuck, really? No. Well, you mentioned that it might be absorbing ambient humans in the surrounding area, right? We might get a brief disturbance in that baseline if we introduce some objects to it. Silentano. Okay, but then the same procedure is saying not to touch it even through tools? Throwing things at it doesn't seem very precise. No. Well, I was gonna have a mic do it. Mofo, are you trying to kill me? No. No, no. I was hoping you could, like, use thaumaturgy to levitate objects into it? Mofo crosses his arms. Yeah, I can do that. But I don't like how easy you made it sound. That would be a very finicky thaumaturgical working. No. Like I said, I'm not too literate with thaumaturgy. SCP-9000 Object Absorption Test, performed by Dr. Mofa, Dr. Celentano, Dr. New. Test, parentheses S, outline. Dr. Mofa would use thaumaturgy to create a localized weather system that delivers objects into SCP-9000. Dr. Celentano and Dr. New will be taking human Akiva radiation measurements while the objects are introduced to SCP-9000. Trial 1. A wooden stick centimeters long. Result: SCP-9000 absorbed the stick as expected. No significant change in Hume/Akiva measurements of SCP-9000. Hume/Akiva measurements of the stick saw a drastic drop approaching absolute zero Hume count before merging with SCP-9000. Note: seems you had things backwards. SCP-9000 brings things down to its Hume level as opposed to just absorbing all the humans. Trial 2. A wooden stick, centimeters long, with Akiva radiation level artificially increased by Dr. Amofa prior to introduction to SCP-9000. Result: same as Test 1. Drop in Akiba measurements and test object were of the same intensity. Note: seems that the starting Hume levels don't matter at SB-9000. Increased. Retract the object. Virtual. I was hoping if they could see, like, lower it artificially, see what would happen. Trial 3. Wooden stick, 70 centimeters long. Hume level artificially increased by Dr. New prior to introduction. Result: same as Test 2. Drop in Hume measurements and test object were of same intensity. That's a fun thing. That's a fun thing to note. Wait. Never mind. But I like they're trying it twice, just in case. Stalker. Probably not, though. I recognize this from Stalker. Uh, Anyway, trial 4. A wooden stick, 70 centimeters long. Dr. Mofo was instructed to try and retract the object after introduction to SCP-9000. Result. Object continued to break down after removal from SCP-9000 and was still absorbed by the anomaly. Note, if this thing were like a black hole, the object would become unretrievable the moment it crossed the event horizon. Maybe it's more like a gravistar. Footnote 1 of 2. The gravistar is a different kind of black hole that still has a shell of exotic matter instead of an event horizon. I did not know that. Trial 5, a steel ball. I wonder if it will run. I'm not interested in JoJo's at all. Trial 5, a steel ball, thaumaturgically altered, have a virtual mass of 9,000 tons. Alterations to virtual mass allow the object to be manipulated as if it had original mass, conducted at interferometry in conjunction with object introduction. Result, no noticeable change in interferometry measurements. SCP-9000 still appears to produce no apparent gravity. Note, appears to delete energy, violating numerous physical laws. Again, this thing is interesting. I like this. Remember when I said in my consequence, because I assume if you're watching this, you've seen that video as it is my second most popular. Remember when I said, actually, is that my second most popular? That Trench Crusade one got popular. Sort by popular. Why isn't it showing here? That's weird. This video has 109 views, but if I go to popular, it doesn't show up, even though it should show up there? Is that because I'm on my phone? What? Hold on. Sorry, I was gonna make a note of a thing I mentioned in a previous video, but then what the hell? If I don't put it on popular, it shows up on my phone. Computer, sort by popular. There it is. What the fuck? Okay. Weird. Yeah, second most popular video of my Constant Core one. Remember when I said I described like I said it was like a mathematical equation that doesn't follow any known problems to solve, or like this object, it doesn't interact with things in any known way that should make sense. This is something now. Not that I'm saying, oh, they got the idea from me. Oh, isn't it so cool? No, I'm not that entitled, right? It's not that hard to think of something like this. No, that sounds worse. It's not. An, believe it or not, anomalies are anomalous, and people can think of the same thing. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, I just think it's fun that someone finally wrote what I thought about. I'm glad. Oh, ah. Anyway, SB-9000 Research Log 5, entry by Dr. New. Site 99, 2312, Eastern Standard Time, the 4th of September 2001. Note, discussion of recent tests. So the title. Yeah. Lore accurate, because it would be 11 over there. It's 10 over here, though. So, feels like those tests made more questions than answers? Amofa. I could try putting a thaumaturgical seal on it, see what that does. Silentano. So an SRA would kill us all, but a thaumaturgical seal is fine? Amofa. A thaumaturgical seal just creates a channel to sink a key of radiation into. Silentano. And what exactly would that even do for us? Mofa. I'm just brainstorming, Lenore. Technically, so did Lenore with the fucking Skeleton Reality Anchor, of which I think are fun. I like them. Let me sip more water as I'm a little bit nauseous right now. Guys, I think we've all had an annoyingly unproductive day. I'll make the progress report and file away all the other stuff. You guys can head home. Amofa, gotcha. I'm out of here. What the hell? Amofa leaves the room after struggling with the door. Exasperated, he finds an object and fashions it into a door stopper for the door. What is up with this fucking door? I like that. That's a funny. I like that it keeps getting brought up. Silentano, are you sure you don't want any help with the progress report, Abe? No. No, I'm fine with the reports. I'm just writing down what happened. I don't have to be creative. Silentano. Okay. See you later, Abe. Celentano exits. Dr. News stays for approximately 3 hours to file relevant paperwork and submissions. Went to bed at 2 at the earliest. We fell asleep right then and there. SCP-9K progress report entered by Dr. New. Initial experimentation with SCP-9K can be considered both a success and a failure. We've identified further qualities of the object, but those create more questions than answers. It produces no gravity, has a human level of 0, and has negative Akiba radiation measurement. The human level in particular suggests SCP-9000 maintains a sort of non-existence. Current containment procedures appear to be sufficient for long-term isolation of object. It shows no activity, has not moved in response to current tests. Object not increased in size. Huh. Even with introduction of multiple sources of mass, suggesting it will maintain its current size even while absorbing ambient atmospheric particles. As for conjecture about the object itself, don't know. I'm hoping that is an error. It's a black ball that doesn't exist, and objects that touch it appear to get removed from existence. Perhaps it's something like a shadow or an undefined error from mathematics? Regardless, I don't see how further testing could produce useful results. I suggest that this object is remanded to permanent containment under current containment procedures. Note from 9K Research Supervisor Dr. Monroe. You will be continuing testing on SCP-9000, Dr. New. Okay, so clearly this is like a thing to get this guy to actually do his job or like be useful or something. That's fun. Oh, that's interesting. Ugh, my ears don't want to pop right. Let me drink more water. I don't like that feeling. Yeah. Hmm. SCP-9000 Research Log 7, answered by Dr. Celentano. Set 99-09-15 Eastern Standard Time, the 6th of September 2001. Note: testing date cancelled due to researcher absence. Celentano: this time Mike's late, huh? No. Yeah, if he doesn't show up soon, I have to cancel. Celentano: we can wait a bit longer for him. No. Yeah, that's only fair. Celentano and No wait in silence for a brief period. Celentano: you never did tell me how you got hired by the Foundation in the first place. No. Oh, it's nothing exceptional. Celentano: that makes me want to know even more. Most of the researchers here are exceptional. No. Well, I was scouted. Celentano: we all were. What project of yours put you on the radar? No. Oh, it wasn't my project. I was just on the same team. Celentano: no. It was a college research project. I didn't really do anything. I was just sort of there helping out. All their names had pretty much the same billing on it, though. Celentano: what was it about? No. I recently stumbled across an anomalous item. Not an SCP, but one of the ones that would go in the catalog. There is a catalog of anomalous objects that are not worthy enough to be an SCP properly. Anyone can add to it, it's really fun. My favorite's a plastic lawn chair on the surface of Saturn. Or was it Jupiter? On the surface of Jupiter. Or was it fuck, it was one of the gas giants. Flipped through it a few times. I flipped through it once in a while, it's fun. Uh, we ended up doing a ton of tests on it, and the project turned out to be very interesting. Celentano: weren't you anesthetized? No. Well, the Foundation seized our work, obviously, but it seems like they were very impressed by it, since all four of us got an invitation to work at the Foundation. Celentano: really? Where can I meet the others? No. Well, they did inform us of the risks we were going to be taking for your employee here. I ended up being the only one that agreed. The other guy said it was too much trouble. Celentano: oh, why'd you accept the offer? No. I thought it'd be cool. I really enjoyed our project and almost item. Thought if I worked at the Foundation, I'd get to see more things like it. Celentano smiles. I got your wish, didn't you? No. Yeah, but I kind of wish they would stop trying to promote me. I'm perfectly fine just peeking at other projects and giving feedback. I don't need to be someone special. Fuck yeah, New. I feel you hard, man. Ain't that sad? Celentano: Abe, I would kill in more ways than one to get promoted to level 3. I would try to nominate you instead. No, I tried to nominate you instead of me, but they weren't really listening. Celentano: thanks for that. No. Yeah. Celentano: you are very talented, though, Abe. I bet you'd do fine with one of these if you just put your mind to it. No, I know. It's just I don't know. I can't get it going. I can't go the distance. Celentano: but you seem so interested in anomalous. Wouldn't documenting one yourself be a match made in heaven for you? No. I don't know. Dr. New leans back in his chair. Maybe I'm a parasite. Celentano: a parasite? No. I just like seeing what other people can do. I don't need to be the one doing, if that makes sense. Man, I feel this guy hard. Celentano: have you ever given it a fair shake? Maybe you'd like it more than you'd think? No. Lena, you know how many times they try promoting me? I really do try to get into it. I spend a couple weeks on it, it starts going nowhere, and I just lose all confidence with the project. Solentano, yeah, you kinda do. No. The worst part is that I feel like I let people down. People who gave me the feedback and peer review, people who helped me out with it. I feel like I just wasted all their time they could have spent more productive things. Solentano, you know that's not true. No. It's true to me. I'm not gonna put myself in that position to start with. Solentano. Well, how about this? Mike and I can handle the test for this one, and you do what you do best and observe. Does that sound good? No. You're the best. Solentano. Yes, I am. Now let's get out of here. I don't think Mike's showing up. Dr. Solentano and Dr. New, leave the room. End log. Special meeting entered by Dr. Monroe. Site 99, 1000 Eastern Standard Time, September 9, 2001. Note. New performance meeting. Just the two of them, it seems. Monroe. Good morning, Abe. New. Good morning. Monroe. So, you know why I set up this meeting? New. To give me a lecture. Reminds me of my own parent-teacher conferences. Monroe. Bingo! See, you're a smart guy. New is silent. There's only ellipses right there. Monroe. Look, Abe, I know that you're capable of much more than what's expected of a level 2 researcher. New. I need you to explain to me why you think that. Monroe. Well, Abe, you're one of our top level 2 researchers. Anyone who's worked with you at that level had nothing but praise for your work ethic. Further, fuck, it really is just like. Furthermore, it really does seem like you thought I was a level 3 researcher. That's the level where you get to take charge of the anomaly. I thought you'd love doing that. No. It's not that I don't like that part, it's just all the other parts. Peer review, constant revising, pressure. Monroe. The pressure? No. Yeah, what if someone thinks one of my tests is bad? Monroe. Well, that's just their opinion. No. What if the test is, like, objectively bad? What if I waste everyone's time? Monroe. So you're scared of messing up. We've all been there, but the key is to just... No. I'm not scared of messing up. I'm just... I don't want to spend time on something that might not go anywhere. Monroe. Abe, I hate to break it to you, but that's what science is. Do you even like working here? No. Of course I do. I very much enjoy being a level 2 researcher. Monroe. What exactly do you like about the Foundation? The salary? Your coworkers? No. I like the anomalies. Monroe. You like the anomalies? No. Yes. Monroe. So, you like the anomalies, but just don't like all the protocols and bureaucracy that results in them being secured, contained, and protected? No. That's not a very charitable way to put it. Monroe. But is it wrong? Once again, New has just ellipses. Monroe. Well, Abe, I tried. It's clear you don't have the ambition necessary to be a level 3 researcher. I will stop nominating you for the promotion going forward. I can't imagine that is sad to him. SCP-9000... Oh, end log, by the way. SCP-9000 Research Log 8, entered by Dr. New. Site 99, 1854 Eastern Standard Time, the 9th of September 2001. Dr. New. Hey, this is Dr. New. I'm doing some more testing on SCP-9000. By myself. I don't think this is technically even allowed, but I kind of want to surprise Lena and Mike with some actual progress tomorrow. Make them a bit more confident in my leadership abilities. Maybe make her think I'm cool? Maybe make them think I'm cool, I should say. Aw, poor bastard's got a crush. Dr. New shuffles around some papers. So I'm just gonna use some ontology on the sucker. Our working theory is that it doesn't exist, so using ontology, which is the study of existence, might actually bear some fruit. I only minored in ontology during the Foundation curriculum, though, so I might be in over my head. I can definitely check for some ontological joints, though. Footnote 2. An ontological joint is an objective marker for existence. Existence is made up of subatomic particles, and those particles form objects through ontological joints. That should at least tell us definitively whether it exists or not. I'm planning to see no joints, which might mean this could be some fucked up new particle or something. SB9000 ontological joint measurement. Expected result 0 joints. Result 1 joint. No, not applicable. So it does have a joint. No, that doesn't make a lick of sense. I'm trying to test again. The results are the same. The box is there as usual. Okay, cool. I guess it does exist. Now I've got to see if there are any other joints. SB9000 ontological joint measurement. Expected result 1 joint. Result 0 joint. Dr. New. now it doesn't have a joint? Is it fucking with me? Did it wait till I was the only person in the room so it could fuck with me? Dr. New repeats the same test for approximately 8 hours, receiving effectively random results each time, becoming increasingly agitated. At 09:08 Eastern Standard Time on the 10th of September 2001. Holy shit, I just got that. Oh, please, please, please make the joke in the file. Please make the joke in the file. Please make the joke in the file. Dr. Santano and Dr. Amofali arrive at the conference room. Santano, hey, Abe, you're here early. No, hey, guys. Santano, oh my god, Abe, have you been here all night? No, more or less, yeah. I was trying to check for ontological joints. There shouldn't be any, and then there was, and then there wasn't. It's like it's purposely taunting me. Amofa, dude, you look like shit. You need to take a nap or something? No, I'm so close to finally cracking this, though. I've got to crack it. Solentano, Abe, seriously, Mike's right. You've been up all night. You need to get some rest. Mike and I can handle research tonight like I said we would, alright? Dr. New mutters to himself before slumping back under the table. Dr. Solentano and Dr. Mofa step away. Mofa, what the hell do you mean like I said we would? Solentano, I had a chat with Abe the other day. He's pretty stressed out about this, so I suggested we can handle doing the test and he could just sort of watch and follow the reports. Mofa, is he even qualified to do stuff like this? This whole thing has been a train wreck so far. Solentano, he's more than qualified. He just gets discouraged very easily. Mofa, imagine if this were a more dangerous anomaly, something Euclid that knows how to bide its time. We'd all be dead by now. Santano. Dr. Monroe knows not to put Abe on those sorts of projects. We're all still here, aren't we? Even though this thing is some kind of non-existent black hole. He sipped more water. That's my whole damn point. This thing could be serious trouble, and he's over here doing his onto whatever on it without even consulting us. Santano. I think he was just trying to do something nice. Nice, Amofa. Nice my ass. He's just insecure. Dr. Amofa walks back towards the table. He picks up a piece of paper angrily. Santano, hey, be quiet. Mofa, what did he even say it was doing? Turning on and off, coming in and out of existence? Dr. New perks up. No. Hey, Lena, what was the counter cycle interval set to when we took our hue measurements? It was set to C over 0.5 seconds, standard setting. New looks up at the ceiling. Let's try what the highest setting we can put it to. Mofa. What? Why? No, I think I know what it's doing. End log. SCP-9000 high interval hue measurement. Performed by Dr. Abraham New. Test outline. Conduct a hue measurement of SCP-9000 with the counter set to a cycle interval of C over 0.0001 s, which should be a... Wait, would that... No, it's... These don't work like centimeters, right? They're not... Yeah, they're not logarithmic. Never mind. I don't actually know the prefix. Allowing for approximately 9,000 hue readings to be taken per second. Counter connected to Dr. Celentano's laptop to allow automatic averaging of data. Expected result, nothing. Result, averages range from 0 humes a second to redacted humes a second. No, SCP-9000 hue measurement fluctuates wildly. Oh, so it's trying to write itself then, is what I'm gathering personally right now? I like guessing. No. Ah, there we have it. Amofa, I don't get it. No. The hue level is wildly erratic, jumping to a random value every hundredth of a second. This destabilizes reality of whatever touches it, sucking it in like a black hole. Solentano, what does that mean in the grand scheme of things? What are we looking at? No. We're looking at something that doesn't exist yet. Amofa. Yet? No. Yeah, it both does and does not exist, like an undefined error in mathematics. I think it's something that didn't spawn in correctly, like a quantum fluctuation. Solentano. Freaky. No. Yeah, my only issue is the negative Akiva radiation. I don't see how that plays into this. Amofa. Well, Akiva radiation is all about belief. 9000 doesn't exist yet, then it was still need to be created, hence the negative value. No. Noted. Celentano. So what happens to objects that touch SCP-9000? Well, their hum level gets no. Well, their hum level gets radically altered by it, though they technically should be able to exert some kind of control over it. Maybe it's waiting for the right object to stabilize itself and finally come into existence. Amofa. So I guess you should put one of those anchors around it after all. No. What? Mofa. Don't those anchors stabilize it? No. No, that's just too risky. We don't know how it might react to it. Santano. But the SRAs have failsafes. If they're unable to alter the hum level, then they'll shut off. At worst, they'll just blow up, but if they do stabilize at hum level, we could get some more data on it. New rubs his eyes. Never. Never get a shit tired. No, alright, fine. Just shut the door, though. I don't want anyone to hear if the anchor explodes. A Scranton reality anchor is brought into the conference room, and the door is shut behind it. Mofa, why are we putting it in here? Shouldn't it go in the containment chamber? Won't fit without crossing the 5-meter threshold from the procedures. Silentano, so who's taking the notes? No, let's worry about that after we do the test. Silentano runs a final check on the Scranton reality anchor, and Dr. New prepares to turn it on. Okay, turning on the SRA in 3, 2, 1. I knew that would. I read ahead. I made a grumble, but I like that. That's a nice callback. Dr. New turns on the Scranton reality anchor. SCP-9000 immediately starts growing in size, quickly breaching the containment chamber. Silentano, oh my god, it's... The group immediately tries to evacuate. Dr. Mofa's attempts to open the door, but it gets stuck. Shit! New turns around, seeing the anomaly nearly engulf the group. No! New outstretches his arms in an attempt to stop the anomaly. His arms sink into SCP-9000 and... I'll be link it. But the T repeats a lot. It's both underlined and crossed out. Let's just start from scratch. Oh, first person! I wake up with a start. I'm in my bed in Residences, and I feel tired eyes staring at me as if through a thick pane of glass. I hear a knock at my door, and then I hear Lena's voice. Abe, come on, deadline's coming up. I walk to the door, hearing the clacking of keys somewhere distant as I walk. She's already walking away as I open the door. Can't believe it took you this long. Follow closely behind her, my scrambled mind settling back into routine. We enter the conference room, we both sit down. She looks down at a paper at her desk, across my arms, practically hugging myself as I stare blankly at my feet. Is something wrong? I took my finger above my head. So is this worldwide or just me? What do you mean? Look, being resistant to promotion doesn't mean I'm an idiot. I worked in the Department of Alchemy for almost 9 years now. Do you think I wouldn't know something like this? Lena turns towards me. There's a circular void where her face should be. You say that as if it means anything. So is this a ZK? Did I cause a ZK? I forget what a ZK is. It's one of those different realities. I forget where to find the term is the problem. Is it Guide for Newcomers? I'll check there up afterwards. Discovery, random, and the languages. Introduction, Guide for Reading. Navigational elements, start reading, recommend. Nope, not what I want. FAQ. Universe. Is this an actual question people ask? I don't know what ZK is. Shame. Maybe, maybe not. Depends on your outlook. I curl my lip. I'm not a fan of riddles. What's the core tenet of thaumaturgy? I'm not from the thaumaturgical department. But you still know it, don't you? I'm sure you've read a file that mentions it. The part affects the whole? You're in charge now of the whole thing. I rub my eyes. That can't be right. I'm God now? Not really. There are thousands that are just as powerful as you. That doesn't make any sense. It'll make sense to some of them. Are you SCP-9000? Maybe, maybe not. What does that even mean? I am potential. Potential? Yes, my existence relies on you. Is this the author stating like the writing process and stuff like that? That's fun. Because in the meta sense, this is true. At least as of right now. Yes, my existence relies on you. I feel a lump form my throat. No, you're gonna have to rely on someone else. I'm not cut out for stuff like that. You're the only one that can create me. Nope, you're talking to the wrong guy. This is way beyond me. I adjust my posture in my chair, discovering that it's gone, that I'm now floating in a dark void. I see 2 stars in the distance, which blink and look away from me. Hey, that was pretty cool. Okay. A whale breaches from a distant nebula. I swat away binoculars that were held up to my eyes. You don't want to look at it? I don't give a shit about any of this. I'm sure you've got winners in here somewhere. A bag of sugar flows past me. There's a bloodstain on it. I hear a voice inside it say, "Help! I'm trapped in a sugar bag." It rustles and burps. A gunshot startles me. I turn around and see a man standing over his wife's hospital bed in the distance, who wipes his eyes and tosses the gun away. Damn it! I was hoping to exist. I then see a laptop. It looks like some dude's live stream is open. He starts rambling. Thoughts on SCP-055? That's the one you can't remember, right? He looks inside of his monitor. You can remember it, but you just can't remember anything about it. That sort of seems like two explanations for the same thing. I don't know. I think it's neat. But I'm sort of looking for a bit more contained in my security. This is germ, isn't it? Because in my security can protect, if I'm being honest. Damn, man, that jump is kicking my ass. Access status monitor. -2, -2, -2. Okay, look, I know a lot of you were like, oh, the new articles don't hit anymore. First of all, I bet half of you weren't even alive when 055 was written, let alone old enough to give thoughtful critique. It was made like 10 years ago before. I was made like 10 years before 055 was made, so I'm Unk. And 055 is nephew. So don't you go talking about how much better old articles were when... Okay, is this a real link? I don't... Someone in the comments, please tell me what this is a reference to. I don't watch streams or content creators all that often. He continues rambling for at least 9 more minutes. I close the laptop. What the hell was he talking about? Okay, that one might be a bit niche. How about one of the first ones you had? A, a katana materializes in my hands. I partially unsheath it, seeing a reflection of my eyes in the blade. The reflection looks unhappy. I sheath it. You still haven't told me what you're doing right now. This is all you, bud. Okay, look, you got a lot of ideas in your head. Sure. I just don't see why you want to keep them in your head. Yeah, no, I'm not doing this. Why? It's the same cycle every time. I get excited about it. It is. It is the author. I love it when authors do this. 3999 did that. That's why, fun fact, I'm very upset about the Meat Canyon video where he reads SCP-3999 and then never finishes it, explaining thoroughly the point of the entire article because everyone in the comments is talking about how shit it is because, believe it or not, he didn't finish the article and, revealed the whole point of the article, which irritates the fuck out of me constantly. That I always think about that whenever I watch Creepcast, dude. Pisses me off. Same cycle every time. I get excited about it, work on something for 2 weeks, my fixation goes elsewhere, and then it never gets completed. And the ball of regret chain in my ankle gets heavier and heavier. I'm not bothering with it anymore. Sounds like a quitter mindset. Then I'm a quitter. I'm fine with being a quitter. You're wrong about the cycle. There is no cycle, only a pattern. A pattern? By the way, I am also fine with being a quitter. The pattern is woven by countless individuals. The pattern does not need you, but isn't that all the more reason to contribute to it anyways? Make sure you remember it in some small yet meaningful way. That's not the poetic, but I still don't really care. If you didn't care, we wouldn't be here. I sigh loudly. I understand where you're coming from about the pattern, but I'm worried about ruining it. I'm worried about adding a little notch that just feels out of place. I'd rather admire it from a distance. My exact reasons why I didn't write an article even though I wanted to. But think about how cool it would be to make your own mark on the pattern. I'm not egotistical enough to think that, but you wrote it. Get bent. Feels like you're spending a lot more energy avoiding this than you would spend if you just sat down and did it. Wimby, I just don't enjoy staring at a blank page feeling like an idiot. You know how to walk? Wait, what? You know how to walk. Just put one foot in front of the other, right? Yeah? Just by putting one word in front of the other. I've kind of been doing that this whole time. Oh. See if finalized candidate procedures? If you'd kindly? Item number SCP-9000. Object class neutralized. Special candidate procedures. SCP-9000 has been reclassified as neutralized as of September 19, 2001. The attacks! Containment of the anomaly is no longer necessary. This document is to be maintained for archival purposes. Contact Level 4 researcher Dr. Douglas Monroe for questions regarding this document. SCP-9 description. SCP-9000 was a hovering black sphere that spontaneously appeared 9 miles northeast of Site 92. I can hear gas in my jaw. What the fuck? Fixed. Northeast of Site 99 on the 22nd of August 2001. SCP-9000 had a diameter of 19 centimeters, hovered 1.7 meters off the ground, and was immobile. SCP-9000 had a wildly fluctuating hume level and negative Akiva radiation level. Objects that made contact with SCP-9000 would break down and get absorbed by the anomaly, presumably getting destroyed in a manner that contradicts the first law of thermodynamics. Notably, this effect also applied to objects that were connected when they made contact with SCP-9000. For example, if a human subject were to touch SCP-9000 with a stick, both human and the stick would get absorbed by SCP-9000. SCP-9000 was destroyed on September 19, 2001, when a Scranton reality anchor was deployed by Level 3 researcher Dr. Abraham New in an attempt to stabilize the anomaly's hume level. No disciplinary action was taken in response. Oh! How did I almost not catch that? Level 3. Researcher. Attached addenda include research materials produced during study of SCP-9000. Addendum. Hey, that wasn't so hard. Just wondering if there was... Yep. Metafiction. I'm gonna make an account later tomorrow. I'll give you the upvote you deserve, pal. I've been there and will continue to be there as when I write my own little stories. Hmm. How did I... Calicles? 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 However you pronounce your name, pal. Phenomenal work. As someone who admires the pattern on the outside looking in, it was lovely. And hey, one of the first to throw that shit up there, no? Curious. Where art thou? How can I... Forget how to get the author name. I wanted to go see if you had more works. I'll do that later, though. Time, 50 minutes. We can do another. Actually, can we do another? Watch this be another situation. Ariane's thread. Ariad's thread. Yep, that's how I'm going to pronounce that. We worship the souls of the holy men and women, born at any time, whose consciences struggle, or will struggle, or have struggled for the good. Corda Avesta, chapter 13, Hymns of the Angels. 53, huh? Live feed. Esoteric again. Oh, okay. So are you psychic or something? Oh my. I mean, you seem short, but my throat fucking aches. I'll pause and come back in a little while, and I'll read your file. I promise. Sorry, I just had to take a 10-minute break to give my poor throat a little bit of a soothingness. Oh, that's a dead guy. I didn't really look at the video that well. That's a dead guy right there. Ooh, what's that? More parallax. See it? SB-9000, level 4 secret. Academic class, esoteric. Secondary class, maxer. Disruption class, Amida. Risk class, warning. What a fun little symbol you are. Oh. Now, maxer means the item has been separated into several anomalous parts, which must be kept separate. That's a fun way of like the footnotes pop up. Oh, and they stay until you. Oh, I love that. That's a dead guy. Continued procedures. Due to the continued tourist and pilgrimage activity, SB-9000 has remained open to the public, although efforts to improve accessibility to the cave entrance are to be discouraged discreetly by Foundation operatives in the region. The cave will be monitored at all times by Foundation personnel trained to recognize Protocol Mithra and equipped with Class B amnestics for necessary abatement. SB-9000-2 is to be detained at Site 14 in a standards crossed out, in humanoid confinement quarters, indefinitely with four Scranton reality anchors and 8-corner perimeter. Interrogation request to be approved by Site Director Izadi. Description: SB-9000, an anomalous pier. Pier is a Zoroastrian pilgrimage site, translated from Persian, whatever that symbol is. For clarity, all Persian and Avestan words have been Romanized unless specified. Found within the Shakaft-e-Yazdan cave near the village. Yazdan. Okay, not Yazan, who is a party member, at least of the Painful. Cave near the village of Zaryu, Iran. Population of approximately 70. Well, not one of the 70? Is that supposed to be just like 70 people in there? Well, not one of the 6 most holy pilgrimage sites of the Yazd region. Zoroastrian legend notes that Shakraft-e-Yazdan was used to hide the sacred flame during various Hellenistic and Sasanian conflicts, and is a popular location of worship. Anyway. Ingress to the cave, which houses SB-9000, provides some challenge due to altitude and entrance formation, while SB-9000 itself is only accessible to visitors via ritualistic behaviors hereafter referred to as Protocol Mithra. Protocol Mithra is Visitors to the cave structure who do not correctly execute Protocol Mithril will describe the cave as extraordinarily large, with visible ancient worship sites and traditional Zoroastrian fire altars, but no anomalous elements visible or accessible. Successfully executing Protocol Mithra will result in spatial and/or temporal distortion. Footnote 5. Foundation researchers are divided on the appropriate description of disruption to reality within SCP-9000. For further reading, see Dokin, September 22 edition. During which, ow, my fucking knee. Temporal distortion. During which the roof of the cave will appear to disappear, opening to a clear moonless night sky, regardless of the time of day and based on reality. Footnote 6. Foundation astronomers are unable to identify any celestial objects visible within SCP-9000. Research is ongoing. In addition to the cave roof, the following features of the cave are also undergo change. The floor of the cave transforms from bare limestone to a metal plateau, overseeing a valley that resembles the Eshcreft Valley found based on reality geographically, but with significantly more flora and fauna visible. Attempts to explore the valley via drone have provided samples of previously undiscovered plant life. Research is ongoing. Archaeological remnants of fire altars are replaced with fully constructed. I dropped a can. Are replaced with the fully constructed Darb-e-Mir. Footnote 7. A Zoroastrian fire temple, also known as an Atashkadi, something like that. The building appears in excellent condition, although not newly constructed, with a characteristic Sasanian architecture, with a centralized domed archway over the primary altar space and 4 short passageways of approach from each cardinal direction, verified as matching based on reality after successful completion of Protocol Mithra. Side note, I like the inclusion of a religion that is not often seen in a lot of things. You'd expect something like, Church of the Broken God, you'd expect something like Circuit Cult, or if you're going to do a religious aspect from reality, you're likely assume Abrahamic religion. No, Zoroastrianism. Neat twist. Not so much should be a twist, but it's still neat to see. I like it. Doorway. As is tradition with most Darb-e-Mir, the facade has no decoration and heavy curtains on each archway to limit the access to the Atashka. Footnote 8. Innermost chamber, translated the place of flame, where the fire altar is constructed and maintained. Traditionally, only the temple's high clergy are allowed within the Atashka. Yeah, I think that's how you say that. Regardless of the number of individuals present for Protocol Mithra, 6 humanoid entities dressed in traditional white veiled garments. Footnote 6. Or footnote 9. Garments include kushti, or Iwiyangana, around their waist, given to Zoroastrian adherents during their Sedrpushi ceremony of induction into the faith. Anyway, these 6 humanoid entities, just in white-veiled garments, will be present at various locations around the Darbi-Mer. These humanoids, hereafter designated as SCP-9000-1, do not have any identifiable characteristics and will typically refuse to speak with or interact with observers as they attend their presumed ritual temple duties. SCP-9000-1 instances will not interfere with Foundation efforts to explore SCP-9000's outer environs, provided personnel do not attempt to enter the Atashgate. In the event that a person attempts to directly enter the Atashgate when SCP-9000-1 instance is nearby, said instance will use extraordinary physical strength to bar entry, blocking the archway before the curtain barrier. The instance will not resort to physical violence nor further efforts to block ingress should the attempt be continued. Neither human nor drone exploration of the Atashka is proven possible, as human ingress is it's different. Its human ingress is immediately met with translocation to the entryway of SCP-9000 and the cessation of the effects of Protocol Mithra, whilst drone exploration results in an instant loss of recording and transmission as well as the loss of equipment. Other methods of exploration are being considered by Foundation researchers. Updated. Following the events of Incident on the Hida, all SCP-9000-1 instances present after Protocol Mithra will aggressively pursue any entrance to the space and place their hand upon the intruder's forehead, immediately forcing the cessation of effects of Protocol Mithra. Note, on average, the effects of Protocol Mithra have previously lasted for roughly 2 hours, provided no attempts to enter the Atashka has been made. Incident on the Hida. On the 16th of October 2033, so in the future, an unidentified person, hereafter designated SCP-9000-2, approached SCP-9000 via unknown means. Foundation monitoring of the site failed to observe any movement along the mountain path leading towards SCP-9000's entry point, nor any attempt at aerial ingress. Investigation is ongoing as to how SCP-9K-2 was able to enter the cave and begin Protocol Mithra without notice. SCP-9K-2 was apprehended without incident by Foundation personnel and transferred to Site-14 for interrogation. SCP-9K-2 is humanoid standing at 213 centimeters, footnote 10 being approximately 6'10", of ambiguous ethnicity with short cropped black hair and dark brown eyes with no notable scarring or other distinguishing characteristics. SCP-9K-2 emits a fluctuating baseline reading of Hume levels just below 0.5, indicating some level of reality distortionability, possibly unrealized. At the time of his apprehension, SCP-9000-2 is wearing a nondescript black long-sleeve shirt and dark trousers, neither with any identifying branding tags or stamping, with an unbranded black knapsack containing 3 Grenade brand protein bars, primarily sold in Turkey, a large bottle of water, and a copy of the complete Sasanian Avesta, untranslated from Avestan. Footnote 12. It should be noted that the book was bound and printed in 1993 by Denkard Publishing, location unlisted, per the reverse title page. No publisher by this name has been identified, and the complete Sasanian Avesta has been considered lost literature since roughly 800 CE. Possible connection to SCP-7028 is being investigated. Don't think I know that one. No other identifying items or documentation were found on their person, although cooperative upon initial attainment. SCP-9K-2 refused to answer any questions for a total of 21 days after containment. On 6 November, 9K-2 directly requested to meet with Site Director Nizam Rashid Izadi by name, despite never previously greeting Director Izadi, nor being told his name by any site personnel. Director Izadi agreed to the meeting, which is transcribed below. I'm tired. Interview log 9K.1-6, November 2033. Director Izadi sits across the table from SCP-9K-2 in Interrogation Room 2. Both parties have a glass of water, and 9K-2's hands are unrestrained as per Izadi's request. The complete Sasanian Avesta sits on the table between the two men. NB? I don't know what that stands for. Aside from, non-binary. But I don't think that's what that means in this case. Although both subjects spoke in Farsi, an English translation is provided for ease of outside researchers. Original Farsi transcripts and recordings are available at request. That's a nice note. I like that. Izadi. You have me at a disadvantage, and as you asked for me by name, but I'm afraid I cannot do the same. I always dislike the idea of calling a man by a number, so please, indulge me. 9K-2. At the risk of sounding cliché, my name is not important. If you must, call me Asha. Izadi. Very well, Asha. Why have you asked to speak with me today? Thus far, you haven't exactly been talkative. 9K-2. Or I guess I'll just call him Asha myself. Asha. I've never seen the benefit of speaking when there is nothing to say. Now there is. Izadi nods, extending his hands in a gesture of encouragement. By all means, feel free. I've cleared my schedule and am entirely at your disposal. We have all the time in the world. Asha smiles, shaking the head slightly. You do not, but that is irrelevant. You will allow me to travel to Haraberzaiti. Director. This is, in Zoroastrian tradition, the great mountain at the center of the world and the only place in creation which remained pure and uncorruptible by the machinations of the Angra Mainyu, or spirits responsible for chaos and disorder. You will allow me to venerate the flame and recite the Yasna, the Zoroastrian holy rite. The time has come and should not be further delayed. Izadi. Well, points for optimism, I suppose. I think beginning with an exchange of information would be more helpful for us both. How did you come to know of SCP-9K? Asha. You mean more helpful for you, for this foundation of yours? I do not see how that is helpful for me in the slightest, but feel free to explain. Trying to be plain as possible, Asha. You know of the Foundation, which implies you know of our creed and why we maintain secrecy that we do. Surely then you must know I cannot just allow you to approach 9K without understanding why you wish to do so in the first place. Asha. Ah yes, research is ongoing. If your Foundation has a creed, there it is. I waver between wondering if you truly believe you can understand everything, or if you know that's a lie and you tell yourself to go on. If you're attempting to bait my Izadi. If you're attempting to bait my temper, you'll have to try much harder than that. I'm neither so arrogant to believe that everything can be understood fully, nor so weak as to be cowed by that reality. I take no shame in the fact that I am driven to learn, to know what might be known. There was a pause, and Asha put his hand over the Avesta briefly. I spoke of your foundation as a monolith, which I see as an error, and I beg pardon. Individuals are invariably judged by the company they keep, but such a view can be limiting, wouldn't you agree? Azadi. I would. It might form a great deal, but some associations are, well, unforgivable. But I try to see the parts, not just the sum, and right now I am trying to understand what part you wish to play here, without judgment. Asha. I will play the part required of me, but it would seem that this is required as well, and I am patient enough to wait you out. Azadi. I feel you must realize how ominous that appears to eyes that do not see your aspirations as clearly as you are able to, yes? Asha. I suppose if one views change as dangerous rather than inevitable. Azadi. Of course change itself is inevitable, I would never argue that. However, surely you can appreciate that sometimes a little risk analysis is wise, especially to minimize potential suffering? Asha. You're trying to find answers to a question you do not have the language to understand, but I am not the only one who must play a part. Though blind, you serve Asha, that much is clear. Asha is the Zoroastrian concept of righteousness and truth, which Druj is its ontological opposite. Azadi. One of the most esoteric compliments I have received, but appreciated nonetheless. Asha. Which raises the question, why are you working here? At this point, SB-9000-2 ceased answering questions and Azadi entered the interview. 9000-2 is escorted back to the quarters. After the interview, 9000.1. Asha remained cooperative but non-verbal for variable extended periods of time before once again requesting to speak to Dr. Azadi directly. In these interviews, Asha would explain at length her understanding of Zoroastrian cosmology, primarily centered around the unseen struggle between creator god Ahura Mazda and the flawed corruption of his enemy, Angramanyu. When pressed for direct information about SCP-9000 or themselves, Asha would redirect the conversation or refuse to continue. All other attempts to interview Asha have proved ineffective. As SCP-9000 presents a limited, if not yet fully understood, danger based on reality. Advanced interrogation methods are not approved at this time. No torture, folks. Interview log 9000.3, the 7th of January 2034. Azadi sits in the interrogation room alone, with the center surface draped with a simple white linen tablecloth, a brass coal samovar, 2 glass cups with saucers, and a tray of zulbia and bamia sweets. Asha enters, looking briefly confused at the table. Ah, Asha, welcome. Asha. To what do I owe this level of hospitality? Azadi, you are a human being, are you not? You've been quite willing to communicate with me thus far, and I wish to make it clear that I intend to do the same. Even if we cannot allow you or your request to enter 9000 at this time. While we talk, I see no reason why you should treat it as anything besides just that. A talk. 6975 and 6678. Let me see if I know you. Already don't know you. Fabio, huh? Oh. Don't know you. I'd recognize this name. I don't. Asha, a surprisingly civilized view considering the acts of some of your predecessors. The acts being highlighted to redirect you to SCP-6678. Your predecessors being highlighted to redirect you towards SCP-6975. Azadi shrugs, pulling the teen, offering Asha one of the sweets. Azadi, I will not hesitate to admit that some of my goals upon appointment was to ensure that Site-14 did not recognize itself in any way within a few years. Change has been slow but gratifying, I would say. Now let us begin. Pulling out his notepad, Azadi begins making simple notes while drinking his tea with his free hand. Well, I've appreciated your candor about your goal of worshipping at 9000. I was hoping to understand why a bit more clearly. I understand you are unwilling to explain how you know of it, so we won't press that again, but why is worship of this Atashgeri so critical that you explain that? Asha. Why I've forgotten, but all but invisible flame when the great temple of Yazd is far grander. Make my offering at the Atash Baram instead. Baram, translated, victory fire, considered the most sacred of Zoroastrian temple flames. Consecration of such fire requires 16 different types of fires, sourced by piece, to be combined as one and sanctified over a year-long process, resulting in a high holy pilgrimage pilgrimage site for the devout. Interesting. Azadi, I don't view this through the lens of grandeur or importance, for what it is worth. But I certainly would think there would be more convenient Toshkati for your offering. There's a moment of silence punctuated by quiet sounds and mastication and drinking. You surely want to know these things, don't you? That was said by Asha. Izadi, I am asking, aren't I? I should not yawn real bad. Asha, the attached Baram within that cave at its beyond is the most sacred of the fires. For it has never gone out. It has burned since the beginning, and it will burn until the end. For that has always been its purpose. Now you, Nizam, what is your purpose? Do you have a family? Azadi, oh, none living, I'm afraid. My Manan Jun often joked that I was a nightingale who refused to sleep. Footnote 17. Persian idiom for one who works often and refuses to take breaks or enjoy life outside of their job. Workaholic, I see. I focus too much on my research to settle down anywhere. There shouldn't be a space there, by the way. Again, I don't want to be a dick when I point these things out. It's because I'm really into the file. I know that I can come across as like, oh, you're just pointing this out to be an asshole. And no one's said anything about that so far, but I'm just like, I want to make note that like whenever I point stuff out like that, it's because I'm really into your story. Uh, the world was large, and I was drawn to see as much as I could of it. Asha seems to consider this, chewing on one of the sweet cakes in silence before responding. This 9000 that you call it, I suppose you could say it is the same for me. I am drawn to it, for it is what remains for me to see. We have known before the days of Zarathustra, of what can only be called the disharmony between what Getig was intended to be and what it became. Zarathustra is Persian spelling for Zoroaster, which is close to the Greek spelling of the original name. And Getig is the Zoroastrian term for creation, as was made by Ahura Mazda. Ahriman worked against Ahura Mazda to corrupt perfection that was intended for you, for everyone. Like all, I'm determined to see the last of these intentions realized and fulfilled. Azadi. And then? What happens after you're able to enter the building? There's a long pause as neither man speaks. Asha. I think this is where we should end for now. End transcript. I want to make a note. Not a bad thing. I like it. Right? Overarching themes and all. A lot of people, so far, have had their article revolve around the idea of this obsession with a thing, wanting to see it complete, and then, or being lost in the idea of getting that, things like that, right? Losing yourself. I think that's nice. It's fun. We can all relate. The 16th of October, 2035 at 2:14 a.m. IST, which I think is Indian Standard Time? Iran Standard Time. GMT plus 3 hours, 30 minutes. SCP-9000-2 breached containment through unknown means, disappearing from the containment chamber and reappearing in the site kitchens after re-establishing containment. Director Azadi interviewed SCP-9000-2. Let me sip of water. Azadi paces within the containment chamber of SCP-9000-2. He sits in one of the provider armchairs, frowning. There are other ways to get her attention, Asha. You didn't have to go and prove what we assumed for the better part of a year now. Asha, what exactly did I prove? Just so we're on the same page. Azadi, that we're not doing a damned thing to hold you here, and that you're just toying with us all at this point. Might bother with this game. Long pauses, neither man speaks. Asha, that was not my intention, although now I can see how it might seem that way. You did not hold me here in one sense of the word, but I am not playing a game either, Nizam. You know we can't just trust that. Not when typed green is going to be... Oh, Azadi. You know we can't just trust that. Not when typed green is going to be thrown around with strong evidence supporting it. We've been trusting your cooperation was a mark of good faith, but now... Asha. Now I've made you look like a naive fool to your superiors? I should have known ambition would blind you in the end. Azadi. I am the director of Site 14, and that is all I have aspired to, all that I have wanted in my career. Oh, God. Stop acting like you understand me so fully, because I assure you you do not, and yes, I have been made to look a trusting fool, which has far more consequences for you than it will for me. At this point, Azadi catches his breath as his tone had escalated to shouting. There's another long pause. I'm not worried about my place in the hierarchy or anything so mundane. Assumptions about your motivations and abilities will no longer do. There will be testing and confirmation, stricter containment procedures to ensure we're not allowing a reality bender to do as he pleases. I had thought we had established some trust, and now that trust is broken. What on earth was so important that you would undermine it all with this little jaunt? Asha. I heard one of those passing in the hallway said that the canteen had a faluda on the menu today, but dinner merely had a biscuit. I was just checking to see if perhaps there were leftovers. A faluda is traditional Iranian dessert. Zadi. You're kidding. Asha. No, I assure you that I am not. I do not really kid, which I assumed you would know at this point, but I had always enjoyed faluda. Before, I suppose, it just got into my head. I did not find any, though. Azadi does not reply, seemingly instead of stunned shock. Asha continues. And while it is true that your foundation is not holding me here, it is where I am meant to be, until it is time for me to be somewhere else. You cannot prevent that, nor can anyone else. In the interim, I will try to help you find the answers you seek. Azadi. Why? Asha. In all truth, I'm not sure myself. It is not required to be done by the Saoshant, but I wish to, so I will. Saoshant? A Vestan ecastological term, literal translation, one who brings death. One who brings benefit. Where the fuck did I read death? Literal translation, one who brings benefit. Described in the Younger Avesta as the bringer of Frashokereti, the end times restoration of the cosmos per Zoroastrian theology. You speak so, Azadi, you speak so causally of cosmic restructuring of the end times, as if it's a simple thing. Asha, why would it be anything else? Azadi removes his glasses, rubbing roughly at his eyes before continuing. There will be some security measures put into place after today, just so we're clear. Azadi turns to leave, pausing only at the door with his back to Asha. I'll see what I can do about the Faluda. End transcript. This is highlighted. This redirects you to Tactical Theology Hub. Give it a glance over on your own time. If you can't kill it, it isn't a god. If you can kill it, it isn't a god. That's what it says. Interesting. Invenient novum numen. Odd. After Asha's self-identification as the Saoshint, Site 14 requested additional support from the Department of Tactical Theology for further investigation of the possible connection between 9000 and Rashokaredi. Though the link is assumed due to SCP-9000-2's stated purpose upon apprehension by the Foundation personnel, as well as their self-identification as the Soyushurent, further testing has been denied by O5 Council as inviting unnecessary risk to base on reality. Containment procedures were modified to include Scranton anchors as well as other paratechnology used to restrain reality-bending anomalies. As Asha has either been unable or unwilling to attempt another escape from their quarters and has resumed periodic interviews with Director Azadi. Any requests from SCP-9000 for... By the way, guys, check your posture. Any requests from SCP-9000 for additions or items to their quarters must be approved by both Director Azadi and Director Yusarian Leaner, Head of Tactical Theology. To date, requests have been varied classical and religious texts as well as Persian poetry, a notebook for journaling, and a hardwood chess set. I think this file I think last video I expressed my not super great affections for chess. Did I record that today? I'm losing track of time. Did I record the expired today? Yes, I did, with my wonderful title, of which I am very proud of. It brings me great joy. As it should, I made it. The title, that is. Wonder what I'll name this one. Anyway, back to the file. Enough self-aggrandizing. Where was I? Interview log 9000.20, 4th of March 2051. Both Azadi and Asha sit within the latter's quarters playing chess and sharing tea as well as cardamom biscuits supplied and approved by Azadi and Director Leaner via email. Asha. I suppose my good behavior merited this reward. It has been some years since I misbehavior, after all. You say that as if you were a school... Azadi. You say that as if you were a schoolboy we are scolding for his misdeeds when he returns a man grown. As you were a man grown when you arrived doesn't really seem fair comparison. Asha. Well, your gift is appreciated, regardless of intention. Azadi. The intention was merely that I wished to bring them to our meeting today, as I saw them on the Nanavaya Persian bakery. This morning and thought you would enjoy them. I recognize you see the Foundation as adversarial, but not everything I do is the means to some cunning, devious end. Sometimes a biscuit's simply a biscuit. They eat in silence for a time, Asha pouring tea for both men. I do not see your Foundation as an adversary, for the record. Azadi. Oh? Are not keeping you from your stated goal of venerating the flame and reciting the yasna? I certainly thought we were, but I suppose I might have lost track. Asha. You use dried humor as a deflection. It's not subtle. Azadi. It really isn't intended to be, but please continue. Asha. I am where I need to be, not where I am meant to be. I am no fool, Nizam. I know you find me almost maddeningly vague, but imagine if you were to try to explain how one of your satellites or particle accelerators work to a child who had just learned to speak. Azadi. Not exactly a compliment. Asha. It was not intended to be. With a deep sigh, Asha stands up and walks over to look at their small bookshelf with her back to Azadi. Asha. It goes back so far. Humanities need to classify and categorize and explain all things, and I continue to marvel at it. I confess, it used to drive me mad, so confusing and ultimately pointless. At this point, I suppose I find it more endearing than otherwise. Azadi. You've been watching for some time, haven't you? After all, my eyes might grow cloudy, but not blind. Asha turns around to look at Azadi questioningly. It's been years, my friend, and my hair has gone all but silver, while you look the same age as you did when we found you in the cave. You do not age, Asha. Whatever you are is not made of the same stuff as the rest of us. Asha. I am and I am not, which is what I meant by struggling to explain it to you. For I understand at least that much, that you want nothing more to understand. So many of you are here at this Site 14 of yours want to know. So many of you here at the Site 14 of yours want to know, simply for its own sake, even to defend those who you deem innocent. Perhaps for many of it might be control authority, but even that makes a certain amount of sense when grappling with the reality that in the end nothing can be controlled, not by you or any of you. Azadi. You can imagine how bleak that might be to accept on its face. Asha. Of course. Particularly when it's not the divine order demanding it of you, but invaders from beyond your land standing upon the earth and demanding authority. Azadi can be seen flexing his hand to a fist beneath the table briefly, taking a few deep presses to calm himself. It goes without saying that your reception at Site 14 would have been very different should you have arrived roughly a decade earlier. If only you knew how I worried that night you went on your little jaunt about the site for sweets, that such a thing might mean my removal from or some outsider be brought in to make things right. Even now, self-determination is sometimes challenging, for who knows the way the future might hold. Yet ever we carry on, as long as we may, hoping that the future might be brighter for those around you, that it has all been worth it. Asha. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent out as a guide from beyond. Izadi. I see you're taking advantage of the Rumi that I lent you. Rumi is... I guess I might as well try saying the name. Jalal al-Din Muhammad Rumi, 14th century Persian poet. If a bit on the nose for this particular discussion. Is that who you truly are, Asha, a guide from beyond? Asha. I suppose the title would be close as any. I am here for one goal which you have known since I arrived, and I have never attempted to obfuscate. But I will confess in every reason I am that not every reason that I am here has been given to me by others. And along this journey I found several of my own. Is that enough to suffice for explanation? Azadi pauses, looking up at Asha with an unreadable expression and before moving his bishop. I suppose it must be for now. Asha sits back opposite Azadi on the table and moves his queen. Check. And transcript. Just checking ahead. On 60th of October 2063, Asha asked to speak to Dr. Azadi and was told that due to illness he was currently unavailable and that acting director Madhavi would take his place. Asha immediately vanished from the containment quarters and manifested next to Director Azadi's bedside medical unit of Site 14 where he was receiving palliative care. Retroactive checks have indicated that all reality anchors of paratechnology were functioning correctly around the containment chamber. Immediately after manifesting at Azadi's private hospice room, Asha knelt next to the bed and took the other. I figured. uh, Asha knelt next to the bed and took the other man's hand in his own. Azadi, still receiving oxygen via nasal cannula, opened his eyes, laughing roughly before coughing. I knew those scantons were a waste of time. Asha, it did not seem beneficial to point out, and the time and money you would have all wasted to try to find something else could be used for greater need. So, Asha, we've come to the end then, I take it? Asha, I do not think you should be alone for it, my friend. Azadi, no, not that. I mean the end to Vrashokaredi. That's how you say that, right? Asha, we have, yes. It was never yours to stop for all that you tried. Azadi, I didn't. Well, I suppose I did, but the harm, Asha, the end of everything. Asha, it's not the end, Nizam. It was never intended to be the end, only the inevitable that I tried to explain to you so many times. There was no end, merely change, just as how you were facing from one place to the next. Azadi, good prevails over evil. Ahura Mazda conquers Angra Mainyu, and all is purified by the molten metal flowing from the peaks of Hara Berazaiti? Forgive me for not finding much comfort there. As Asha. Zarathustra's revelations became muddled by the words of those who followed him with far louder voices, and thus believers read terror in silence. I will not tell you not to fear the unknown. I know that asks too much. I could tell you the gentle beauty that awaits you, the singing of the larks, and the end of suffering, but that would feel like placation to a man like you. So instead, remember, my friend, remember that word itself means Frashokareri. To be made wonderful, excellent, beautiful. Oh, that's not a link. Weird. Asha, you have lived in the darkness for so long, Nizam. Is that how you say that? At last, walk with me into the light. Izadi takes a deep breath before using his free hand to displace the cannula, disrupting the oxygen flow. Bold, I don't think I would have. Asha presses his lips to Azadi's forehead before kneeling again at the bedside, still clasping Azadi's hand. Asha, we look unto thee, Ahura Mazda, for the relief of our grief and comfort our hearts. Their earthly work is done, and they have laid down the burden that pressed heavily on them. Let thy light shine upon them. This was a traditional Zoroastrian prayer for the dead. Update. Former director Nazim Rashid Izadi passed away at 9:31 a.m. Site 14 security readings show that Asha's vanishing from Izadi's bedside before disappearing from all recordings. Asha remains uncontained to date. As of the 16th October 2073, Protocol Mithra is no longer effective for gaining entry in SCP-9000. Reestablishing access to SCP-9000 is considered one of the highest priorities. Research is ongoing. Access SkipNet email? One new message. While we do that, let's... Oh! It's a beautiful... Fuck yeah! It's a beautiful day, everyone. Go enjoy it. Is that a dead guy? You see that, like, right? Not just me that thought there was a dead guy in the background there. I guess this is another part of the cave. Yes, Lily's proposal. Yes, my favorite proposal. Read this as you will. I'm silent because I'm happy. Well, Ariane's thread. Thank you kindly. That was a good file. Thank you for the connection right on back to The World's Gone Beautiful. My favorite 001 entry. I liked that. It was pretty. I didn't get much of it. It's a religion I'm not familiar with, but I liked it. Definitely, definitely one of the good ones. As has been every single fucking file so far. Not that I'm admonishing anyone. This contest is great. I love it. Thank you for writing it. Thank you all for listening with me. Thank you all for reading with me. Vote as you will. It's all great fun. I'll catch you next time, as I'm a bit tired. We will read I'm Still Here and possibly Archaic next time. See what you got, local lesbian comedy harmacy, no? Anyway, like I said, I'll leave you here. It's almost 12. I gotta go to bed. Night, good morning, good day, whatever it is to you folks at the time. But regardless, see ya. I really do hope to catch you in the future videos I do for the contest. Final reminder, go vote. Please, go read these yourselves. Go ensure that the one you like, that adheres to the contest rules and guidelines and theme, gets the victory it deserves. I'll catch you later.